20th century, the USS Cyclops was one of the largest and most powerful cargo ships in the U.S. Navy. Built in 1910, it stretched over 500 feet long and could carry more than 10,000 tons of cargo. Its mission was simple: transport heavy materials like coal and manganese across the Atlantic to support the war effort during World War I. Cyclops was a steel giant, powered by steam, and manned by a crew of over 300 sailors and passengers. It had completed several successful voyages. But in March 1918, something went terribly wrong. On March 4, 1918, Cyclops departed from Barbados, heading toward Baltimore, Maryland. The ship was loaded with manganese ore, a key ingredient in strengthening steel for weapons. On board were 309 people, including crew members and a few civilians. The weather reports at the time showed signs of trouble. A powerful storm system was forming in the Atlantic Ocean. High winds, rough seas, and unpredictable currents were expected along Cyclops' route. But the ship pressed on. Then, silence. Cyclops never arrived in Baltimore. It never sent a distress signal. It never called for help. It simply vanished. The storm that hit the Atlantic that week was fierce. Though it wasn't named, meteorologists didn't name storms back then. It was strong enough to cause serious damage. Waves were reported to be over 30 feet high. Winds howled across the ocean, and visibility dropped to near zero. Many believe Cyclops was caught in the heart of the storm. With its heavy cargo and aging structure, the ship may have tipped or broken apart. If it sank quickly, there would have been no time to send a distress call. But here's the mystery. No wreckage was ever found. No lifeboats, no bodies, no oil slick, nothing. It was as if the ocean had swallowed the ship whole. Cyclops disappeared in a region of the Atlantic known as the Bermuda Triangle, a stretch of ocean between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. Over the years, this area has gained a reputation for strange disappearances of ships and planes. Some believe the triangle has unusual magnetic fields that interfere with navigation. Others think it's home to rogue waves, underwater earthquakes, or even supernatural forces. While most scientists dismiss these ideas as myths, the fact remains: Cyclops vanished in the Bermuda Triangle, and no one knows why. After Cyclops disappeared, the U.S. Navy launched one of the largest search operations in its history. Ships and planes scoured the ocean. Radio stations listened for signals. Families waited for news, but nothing came. Several theories emerged. Sunk by the storm. The most likely explanation. Cyclops may have been overwhelmed by the weather and sank without a trace. Enemy attack. Since it was wartime, some suspected a German submarine had torpedoed the ship. But Germany denied any involvement, and no evidence supported the claim. Sabotage. Captain George Worley, who commanded Cyclops, was rumored to have pro-German sympathies. Some wondered if he had deliberately led the ship off course. Again, no proof. Supernatural causes. The Bermuda Triangle theory led to wild ideas, like time warps, alien abductions, or portals to other dimensions. None of these theories could be confirmed. Cyclops simply vanished. The loss of Cyclops wasn't just a military tragedy, it was a personal one. Families of the 309 people on board were left in limbo. They had no answers, no closure, and no graves to visit. One grieving mother wrote to the Navy, "Please tell me, is my son alive or dead? I can't sleep." Her words echoed the pain of hundreds of families who never got to say goodbye. To this day, Cyclops remains the single largest non-combat loss of life in U.S. Navy history. The story of Cyclops has lived on for more than a century. It's been featured in documentaries, books, and TV shows. It's inspired ghost stories, conspiracy theories, and endless speculation. Even stranger, two of Cyclops' sister ships, USS Proteus and USS Nereus, also vanished years later in the same region. That deepened the mystery and made the Bermuda Triangle legend even stronger. Despite advances in technology, sonar mapping, and underwater exploration, Cyclops has never been found. The storm that hit Cyclops wasn't just a weather event, it was a turning point, a moment when nature reminded us of its power and unpredictability. It didn't just sink a ship, it erased it. And in doing so, it left behind one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the sea. The disappearance of USS Cyclops is more than a historical footnote. It's a story about the limits of human knowledge, the strength of nature, and the pain of unanswered questions. More than 100 years later, we still don't know what happened, but the legend of Cyclops continues to drift across the waves, silent, haunting, and unforgettable.